Howdy, y'all.
Hola!
Hello, my Arty friends. It is Sunday. It's very cold. In fact, I may have to run and get a jacket because this one over here leaves our window open and we could, store meat up here.
Cheers.
Cheers. I don't know exactly what we're going to do. I think we're going to do a potpourri of things.
A potpourri. I was thinking the same thing.
Isn't that funny?
It is funny because I wanted to give another
Arty potpourri.
Because somebody mentioned, the gusseted envelope. I haven't yet to.
She has studied it. She still has not mastered.
Not mastered, but now I've got some more ideas.
Good.
I think I figured it out.
Okay. Do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. Otherwise, we do not know that you were here. Now, just getting distracted by chat. Yes, say hello.
We didn't.
Thumbsy upsies.
We didn't.
This is P over here.
I'm over there.
Patricia.
Mariah.
And together,
we are
PM Artist Studio.
This might be another bourbon day.
We've done better.
Croaking.
All right, so thumbsy upsies, that's little like it.
I got
share it.
Little gifts.
Send it out into the world.
Show you.
If you're new here, welcome. I don't like to make promises. I just, this is what we do. We get chitty chatty. We do art, and hopefully you'll get some giggles. Like that. That's the main thing I can promise you.
Well, you're especially going to be entertained by my folding ability here.
So let's say hello to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you turn your chat over to live chat so you don't miss anything, because chat gets good some days. I mean, it's good most days, but some days it's extra good. Let's just go that way.
Mm-hmm. And I've got to get with it here and find a paper that we can cut up.
Okay, a symbol of mine, that is Sue. Alice Goes Nomad. Hey, Alice. And Ann Webb's here. Art Curious, that's Marion, bartender's daughter. That's Dawn. Is it Dawn or Leela? I'm sorry. Why is that? I have such a block. I'm going to... Bartender's daughter. I had it written down, and then I remember. I'm just bartenders.
I'm just going to set that right down there.
I'm going back over here. See, it's either Leela or Dawn. I don't know why my brain just is like, I'm on Anyway, okay, let me know, bartenders. Becky, Bruja, Cookie Wookie, that's Mo. Deborah, welcome. Devin Rex for art, that is Yolande. Eddie is here. Elizabeth, Alan, Estella, Gerald, that's Jerry. Griffin Shell, that's Rhonda. Who else popped in there? Carrie popped in there. Hello, Carrie.
Folding envelopes today, Carrie.
She's folding envelopes today. Okay.
Don't really need that.
Elizabeth, Ellen, Estella, Gerald. Okay, Griffin Shell. Handy Scandy, that's Nancy. Jennifer McKinnon's here. Jennifer's Dog's Life. Lexi, Lygia, Lydia, Lindsay, Margie. Mixed Media Mess, that's Lori. Paula, Penka, Rosemary, Sepha. Silver Granny and Grumpy Gnome, that's Lynn. Star Travel, that's Linda. Tegan. And Tina Schweinberg. All right, and if I missed you, give me some extra pinky hello hands. I will get you helloed. Chat was the thing was moving quite a bit there. Okay, let's see here. Boop, 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 boop. I'm trying to. Okay. Do I need to go topside?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Get after it.
All right.
All right.
And hey, Sandy, painting again. That is Sandy. All right, top side, top view. That's the one. Here we are.
I actually needed a bigger piece of paper because this is 12 by 12, I think.
Well, the envelope will be smaller. That's how that works.
This is how it works. And it's just, yeah.
We like little envelopes.
Okay. So here's the one that Penka sent. And this just tucks back in, and she used lovely double-sided tape and everything so that, it sticks together, sort of, kind of, and all that. But I didn't do that. I just glued mine down with stick glue in it. You can see how well it's stuck. But that's just as well. because you
Yeah.
can see, you know, how I made this.
Hi, Cynthia.
And I just thought that this was so lovely because the inside
Yeah.
was kind of nice too. And then I cut out a little round hoop-de-doo thing there. Thought we might put some things in this and send it off to somebody.
Okie dokie. We can do that.
All right. So first of all, you need a square. I knew that from the get-go. I knew that you needed a square.
Gotta square it up.
No surprises there. And actually, I cut this on the guillotine, but I think that drives away people.
It scares people.
Cut on the guillotine. All right, and so then you need to make this line. So
like your big old shears usually do too, because there's usually comments.
I love those suckers so much. I'll just anticipate that. And I'm going to make that rather light because you don't. It's just a guiding thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let's get this out here and see if we can kind of reverse engineer.
All right, Devin.
I think that.
And I'm going to be doing, I'm going to do Mailbag Monday, because I have a stack of things here that some I have shown, but I'm going to show it again just in case I did miss it, but I feel like I already did. The things that y'all have sent to me, Devin, your stuff, because I had to dig through my stack of things.
Yeah,
over
I think the next one is we're going to do this side fold here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here.
Yeah.
But now, see, here's where I run into problems.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to fold that. That doesn't get folded. So maybe it is, the next step is this fold here.
That makes sense, because usually, yeah, those bigger, long.
The bigger, long fold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I guess you just guesstimate. I don't know that there's any.
That feels right. This is origami by feel.
Origami by feel. And then you just keep, getting your hoop-de-doo back out and saying, okay, so what's next? Well, you've got to have a point to fold to in this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's going to be that fold right
Yeah, I think
there.
it is, because it looks like it's angled that way, but maybe, I don't know.
Well, we're going to, that's, when you do origami, you have reference points that you must follow. And I think, even if this isn't going to be like exactly the same thing that we want, and then.
Hey, Carla. Panka, look away.
And we've got some side fold. Oh, okay, look,
hey, Margot.
We've got to consider our gusset here. And so how do we get that?
See, we promised entertaining. And I think this is also explains why your envelope has the little whoop. Because now, yeah, it is like this. Little V shape, not a square shape.
Yeah, and then what I did is I just tucked in the other part here. Like this.
Yes, we would please like to note that this is probably not the way that Panka did hers. But it is similar. I know, right?
Well, what it is it's a mountain fold that goes into a valley fold.
Right, because you got to fold it and then, because then it becomes
and make it go back the other
Yeah.
way. And that's not necessarily working like I wanted it to. But you can see sometimes things that look really simple.
Not so much.
Not so much. Okay, now we've got a lot of funky folds going on here, but I didn't bone them, so maybe we can still make this
Undo.
work.
Undo.
Okay, so I folded this over to that. That was a big mistake. Right there.
Yeah, so it does need to be squared up.
It does need to be squared up. And I guess you just
Hey, Sophia.
guess
Hi, Emma.
at where they go. Make an educated
There we
guess.
go. This is feeling better. Kind of lining up. This
Kinda
is more
lining
like
up.
a traditional envelope that you would.
More like a traditional envelope. And it could be because it wasn't exactly measured here.
Yeah.
This is really important in origami, is that you measure.
Mm-hmm.
And then I turn this in.
Hello, Teresa. And there are books. In fact, Alice had sent P the art of the paper. She's going to show that here in a second and show some different options, because this particular one wasn't in there, but something, again, similar. And then I love it that Paula mentioned the art of the fold. Now, I don't know that the art of the fold has... There are more books than they are origami, like folds. Now, there's some origami-ish situations in there. But they're books.
Yeah. And I'm trying to mess this around here, and I'm just going to fold it over there.
There you go. Well done.
It's a little lumpy bumpy, but, you know.
Hi, Robin.
I wouldn't expect anything.
Hey, Charmaine.
Okay, and then all you have to do, if you don't want that to come to a point there, is you just bring it up here, and then here's your flop over fold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here, and you fold it back, and then you fold it under, and
yeah. And then you just cover it up. Look at that.
Put something really nice inside of it,
Yeah.
and nobody's going to know that, you know, it's like a total mess. And you can, if you want to, you know, tuck that in and glue it down on the inside
put
there.
Little
but
dabs
that's
of glue. Mm-hmm.
really not necessary.
Yeah. Hello, young
And then
cat.
the end that you cut off of here, you make your little round thing
Mm-hmm.
to you know, put down there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I gave it a whirl.
Yeah, you did.
By golly.
Somebody requested that she fold it, and now they probably are regretting that.
Well, you know what? I got a book here, and I told Mariah, I said, I am not attempting to do that on, I said national, and she said, international television, for crying out loud. This is from Alice. Alice, I thank you. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, that's not the squirrel. Here, it starts on this page.
Nothing yet.
These are the envelope instructions. And the envelopes will look like that when they're folded properly. Aren't they cute? But yeah.
I will, here in a little bit.
These little, you know, arrows indicating this and that and whatnot. But I did notice that this...
I like the two-tone color there because sometimes it's confusing.
Yeah.
So that is a...
That's really...
welcome addition to instruction.
Yeah, okay. And so see, then you've got the one on this side. Now there's another one in here. This is more my speed.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Boink, boink, boink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With some cutting.
Yeah, I like to cut. All right, I'm handing that so I don't get goo all over it. And then I wanted to show you, Izzy and her daddy went to the
Perot Natural, what is it?
Museum of Natural History. That's not really it.
No, it's like natural science or science and natural something, I think.
Yes. Anyway, it's an absolutely fabulous place to take a child.
Yeah, and Brad was like, "Oh my gosh, we didn't even hit all of these."
Yeah,
like,
it's huge.
And they were there from basically 2 hours. I guess it really wasn't all. So yeah, I mean, you spend an entire day there.
When we were there before, we spent 4 hours there.
Yeah,
and I was worn out. The child wasn't. She slept all the way home, but
yeah. Right.
she was not. Yeah, but yeah, I think we should all go back again because it is a fun
Next
place.
time you should go. Because it's kind of nice to have somebody to take a little break, you know, watching and.
But she brought me these. Well, I got to pick this one, but this one she bought just for me, and she even let me have her little pouch that she got her rocks in.
Yeah,
they let you fill up the pouch, and that's what Yeah, it's just a set price.
Yeah, and then Brad was like, just keep digging to the bottom. I think he was also trying to keep her busy. So she loves a gift shop. But who doesn't? I mean, every museum gift shops are like the best.
Yeah, for sure.
They're a little pricey, but still, it's like, number one, you get to remember that, the trip, and they do have cool stuff.
They do, and she got a really cool little bracelet that has real
crystals and
crystals.
Stuff. Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
And she got me a little jar of gold. We're not sure if it's real gold, but she's convinced that this. Brad's like, it better be for $4. I was like, that didn't seem like a lot, but I guess, for a little jar or something.
All right, so I cut up the prints that I made during the last stream, right? Everybody remember these?
Yes, they're fabulous, and I've been sending out the fancy ones. I hope I most of y'all, I do know like your name here to your name on orders. I try to like go, oh, okay, I think I recognize them. So I do my best. I really do. Now the best thing to do is, hey, I watched the stream. I want one of those in the notes. Then I for sure know.
Okay, and see, what I've been doing with these really the special attention ones.
Yeah,
I mean, I think they're all special because I do take.
Yeah, but some of them have like collage and pencil work, so they are like extra special. Normally, they are just layered gel prints, which are special. But
yeah. Now, this occurred right here, but I thought it was a great opportunity to show you some things that you can do when you have blob out colors, because it's gonna happen, folks. Just know that it is. But look at that. I think that's Dunsies.
Hey, Sherry.
I love it. Just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a bit, I don't know here. Might need to whip some more. Yeah, this needs work.
Yeah.
I like this one also. I think that's done. And then I've got all of these, and you would just, I don't want to, because it's got the micaceous iron, what is it called? Micaceous iron oxide on here, so you can actually feel it. But I think
exactly, Carla.
I think it's so cool, and I would like to get another layer of something on those. I don't want to cover it all up because I want to. Okay. I think these need something dark. All of these just need something dark. Because remember, they have to go with this one. This is our matcher. I mean, they would right now, but I think something dark would really increase that. And then I think these need something sort of reddish on
Marguerite, and hey, Lisa Mingus.
Lisa Mingus, she hasn't been here for a while that I know of.
Yeah.
She might have been.
Maybe she just hangs out in the background, but she's saying hello today.
Hello, Lisa. All right, so we're going to work on those, and we're going to work on those. These two need work. And I haven't decided what to do to these. I really love them because it's, the squares through there. I mean,
yeah, that's fabulous.
Isn't that, that's just fun. But I think what I might do, pardon me, is just go ahead and take one of my washout colors and do it over the whole thing. Mariah's frowning.
Well, I mean, I think they're really good. So I don't, what.
All right. Well, we'll just consider those done.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Okay. So.
No doubt, David.
All right. Let's talk about what we're going to do here, because I had my. So I've got this thing. I love this.
Helen.
I love this. I don't know what it's called or who's it, what's it. But
no.
I like this a lot.
That is the Sophia one, and then that is called, I think, isn't it did we call this the Gladys one? Because that's what she had named it, and then I was like, well, I think that's fabulous. But it's like the Gladys Oval or something of that sort. Let me double check that. Well, by the time I double check it, Mo will have it in the chat. So
yeah. Just
I'm just gonna hang out here.
Hang in there, folks. Hang in there. All right. So here's what I'm thinking on this. Is just using part of it, but making sure that I've got some of this each time I stamp.
Mhm.
That's my goal on this.
Hey, me.
And I want to go
Hey, Colleen.
red.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I pulled this out
Hey, Bruja.
because I haven't used this in a long, long time.
That's the string thang. And it's THANG.
Yeah.
Thang.
And I thought this might be kind of fun to add dark to these. That's what I thought. Now, I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
Don't
You know? Sometimes you don't know until you know.
You don't.
That's how knowing works.
And also,
That was a John Madden moment right there.
Whoa, that was deep. Let me get my hip waders on.
I feel like I should put that in the big screen and I should say it, and then we're gonna post it on the internets and see how that goes. People need to be knowing some things that they ain't knowed yet.
Okay, we're gonna juice up the pad.
Anyway, I got very amused by that.
I really wasn't paying like full on attention.
I know. It's
there.
okay.
So
I'm laughing for both of us. Eddie's gonna let me know if it was good or not.
see thumbsies upsies.
He sometimes he's like, "Oh, you could do better, Mariah," or like, eh.
That was a meh.
I don't know yet.
Oh,
I haven't heard back yet.
Okay. All right. So we're really going to give this a good, and this is the time when you really do want to practice somewhere else and make sure that your pad is, fully inked up. Because see that?
Yeah.
That's crap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want, distressed. Win.
Yeah, but that's not what I want. I really want it to make a good.
And she's going on paint that is obviously got some texture to it. So that is going to be, yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes these foam pads, if you haven't used them in a long time.
Foam stamps.
Mm-hmm.
You need to kind of prime them. You got to prime them because they soak it up, but you still need to get them good and inked.
All right, so well, I'll tell you one thing, that sandpaper stuff really keeps it from scooting. Well,
then see.
That's
I like it. I think it's kind of good that it does that. Because you don't even know, at what layer was it done. There you go. That's nice.
By golly, I got that suckered.
Yeah.
Okay, here we've got this white spot down here. Look at that, how cool that looks.
Yes.
How about that for some lining up there?
Like Gia says, this one reminds her of the Death Star. So that's why she bought it. She's a Star Wars fan. Right, the Death Star is from Star Wars. All right, I think so. Yes. Oh, look at me. See, I did remember which one it was. Gladys Oval. Yes.
Look at that. I even circled that.
Yeah, just right into there and yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Carefully planned and measured out.
Yes, just as her envelopes were. That's what I'm going to call this stream. Measuring. Question mark.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad y'all are enjoying this hilarity at my expense.
Yes.
Check that out. Hey, now, come on.
I don't think you can line this one up in a bad spot.
I don't think you can either. This is a
Yeah, this is a winner.
Winner. A mistake-proof stamp.
Got the bumpers on all the way.
Doesn't matter where you put it, it's going to look good.
Bowling with bumpers. That's what we're doing. You gotta ask. Yeah, you gotta ask Sophia. I think she does have a reason, or she just really liked the name, or some. I can't remember exactly. This one's been out for a while.
I just go through the things here and try to think, what I really want to happen.
Yeah. I love that.
I think that's really cool. Now I'm going to take this top part. You don't always have to use all of your stamp. You can just use part of it.
Yes, totally, Sophia. Now, of course, we can't, say that exactly, but yes.
What is it? That we can't say?
More inspired by, space movies. Space inspiration. There we go. So Sophia, this is the story from Sophia. The story is Mariah said that all my stamp designs needed naming. This was the first time I had uploaded designs, so in a mad panic, she could not think of nothing. So therefore, she just put names on things. And that works.
Yeah, because if you don't name them, we'll come up.
Yeah. Oh, and so see, as a joke, that was what I was trying to remember, because I knew there was some kind of jokey aspect to it. I just couldn't remember exactly what it was. So she says it was an oval something, but she thought Gladys went well with it as a joke, and then I went with it because I was like, yeah, I like that. Gladys Oval, She seems legit. Hello, Betsy.
Alrighty. Very good.
Now, sometimes, I don't, it's one of those things where you want to name something, obviously, that people would search for, but oval was in the name, so therefore that was already there, and that was great. And then the name Gladys was just, like, bonus fun, I think.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking on this one.
Oh, that would have been great. Yeah, but that wouldn't, this is more modern-ish anyway. I think the name Gladys fits. She was going to go with Victorian granny names.
Ah.
But I think, if you had you gotta match the style.
Yeah. There we go.
This is Carrie's new sketchy grid stamp.
See, it just needed something to break up all of that white and make it look like it wasn't,
She didn't even have to alter it.
The blob situation there.
It's as is.
As is. I might.
Hey, Cray. Welcome to those of you that have come in. Do say hello in the chat, and we'll say hello back. Give those thumbsy upsies if you haven't. That's that, like it button down below there. If you're watching on replay, no worries. Please give those thumbsy upsies and then give us some comments down below.
I think that looks pretty spectacular.
Yes, that looks really cool. I love how, because you have so I think that's just gauze, right? Like regular gauze.
It's regular.
In the background there, in the brown. And then it's like it reverses out, and then you move to the stamp, which goes so well with it in another layer.
Yeah, this is definitely a stamp that you need if you have gauze.
Yeah. They're partners.
They're partners in crime.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Let's bust these dudes out. I'm feeling really, Justify.
Yes, the Whim Circle ones all have good granny names.
All right, so now I'm thinking we're going to put the red away. We're going to get the black out. I don't know if I've got black on the... I do. Remember, our black is kind of at the squirty stage.
Hi, Darcy.
Upside down here. Oh, what is this? This is jet black. Sometimes I forget and put blue on this one, but it's okay.
It's okay. People understand things are altered over here, and most we even have the.
Now see, look, I got 2 more squeezes out of that, turning it upside down.
Oh yeah, definitely. Do not toss those until you are for sure. And I would say even don't toss them at all, because you can, put other stuff in it, like paint or whatever.
Yeah. All right, now I'm not going to use all of this stamp. I'm just going to use parts of it.
Thank you, Mo.
And this is an oldie.
Yes.
I mean, this is...
probably one of our first stamps, too. I mean, not only it was one of our first stencils, it was one of our first stamps.
But this is going to add that dark element here. Well, it didn't do what I wanted exactly on the white.
Yeah, it kind of went speckledy, but see, you didn't. You need to prime it more. I am freezing. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna get it.
All right, we're gonna juice up our stamp a little bit more here. The other thing that you need to remember is in the process here, see how that sparkles there? That is most likely wet.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm like putting the whole big old... I didn't realize how long. Huge.
Well, it's a long scarf that its
goodness.
life started out as it was going to be one of those things people put on their bed.
I don't know that the scarf and these earrings should be friends.
They aren't. No. I can just tell you right now, they hook up with each other in not a nice way. All right, juicy.
Juicy.
Oh,
very nice. See, you gotta get that stamp all, inked up.
Inked up. I think that's marvelous.
It is very Fraggle Rocky. It's because it's got the, this furry business.
That was made from, see the granny squares on there?
Oh.
And then I sewed it together with purple. Well, here we go again with that white paint.
Yeah, it's just not being nice. Hey, Kim. I know, and it's so crazy. It's just like, thank goodness, it's much colder today than it was yesterday, and I'm happy for that. This is String Thing, this swirly whirly one. It's String Thing. And then the oval one is Gladys Oval. And then the gritty one is Sketchy Grid.
Yeah, see, it's just that white paint. It just doesn't want to...
Well, it could even be like kind of, it has a resist to it.
Well, it also could be that it's really thick and it has a texture.
Yes.
And you can really kind of see that when you look at it up close.
Indeed.
Alrighty, let's see what else we've got here that we can use.
Thank you. Lynn has sent me a video that shows exactly how to fold the Pinka envelope.
Oh, how nice. Yeah, that would be really helpful because this stuff in books, I don't always get it.
Yeah,
Mariah can eventually work it out.
it takes me a bit, but yes. And usually it helps if there's kind of a couple of us that are at it.
Working at it. All right, we're gonna do something else because I'm totally bored with
Yes.
this.
I think people get it.
I think you got that one.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Terry.
And this one just has a lot more white to it, so I know that, it's going to go gray on me, and I don't really want that. I really want it to be
more punchy.
More punchy. Oh, look, here's my favorite. Coffee beans. We're stuck to rocks. Oh, yeah, a little row of dark chocolate coffee beans down the middle there. I think that's going to be just what the doctor ordered. Okay, so now we have to make our dark brown. And we're going to use some of this Ushy Gushy Utrecht. Remember, this is the one that's kind of going textury on me.
Textury. Oh, Lexi wants to know. Twirly teardrops on celestial snowshoes into stamps. Yeah.
I don't know this. What we're talking about here.
I just gotta think about, because it shrinks down, right? So some of those little pieces in it, we may have to do some work to get it there, or we create it in pieces to where like you could stamp it out, with the repetition. Because otherwise we'd have to make a huge stamp, right? But if we just did it in the section, because really that's all you need, and then you go bump, 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 bump. Because otherwise it would be really expensive. That's basically what I'm saying, because it would take up a ton of, like, if you even wanted it in that 5-inch, and I don't know that we could do a 5-inch shrinking it down there, because it would just burn out all those little intricacies without some serious work.
Talking about them.
So remember, you know what? Twirly teardrops on celestial snowshoes. Remember the snowflakey business?
Oh, maybe kind of, sort of.
Yeah. But
Why are we talking about that?
Because Lexi was asking about possibly getting it in a stamp. So I'm thinking through it. This is, I'm thinking out loud for y'all. I mean, we can make big stamps. It's just not everybody wants that. They are very expensive because they require so much material and time to work all that out.
I don't really like great stamps.
And they're hard to work with. The best thing to work with, like if you are using those big ones, are if you are doing clay with them, which some people do, and that's perfect. Like that, it works well for that because you can add the pressure you need to and do all the things to make the impression. Or if you are utilizing them with acrylic paint, that works better too, because again, you can get the right amount of paint on there and the pressure, because evening out the pressure on those larger stamps takes some practice. Oh yes, and this is the beans from the breakfast strip collection. Oh.
I always end up with the thumb on this.
Okay.
On my left hand.
Yeah, exactly. You could do all
being
kinds of
covered
things
with paint. Where's my card in here?
They did, and I think I posted that in Makers. She did. And actually a few people have ordered it. I don't know who the other people are. So there are other folks out there using the huge stamp. But yeah, she did. And I'm pretty sure I posted that in Makers. Hi, Sister Susie.
Check it out.
I love that.
Isn't that wonderful?
How nice is it? Okay, so there's like 3 different things happening. Wait, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
4, because it started with a brayer off.
Yes, with the new neuro stencil in the background, far back.
Far back.
Then gauze as a flop off, I believe. Yes, that would have to be the way that happened. Yes. I think the neuro was a flop off as well onto the brayer off. So
yes.
Brayer off, then neuro, gauze, then actually probably then you put it through the stencil, like you put down paint, then picked up through the stencil, which is the paint dashes by Froyle, and then finally stenciled on the coffee beans from breakfast. Woo!
I'm loving those coffee beans.
You love the coffee beans. The coffee beans are like bricks. I mean, you just...
The coffee beans are just, you know, my building matter.
I don't know if I get away with that, Lygia.
What?
It's just like the stencil should be called the Breakfast Club. I mean, we did call it the Breakfast something or other, but might be some copyright things. I mean, maybe not, because it's not really the same, but yes, remembering all the, especially since, you know, this was started about a week, right?
What?
Because you started those brayer offs probably last Sunday.
Yes.
See?
I did. Because remember, these were the ones that I was trying to match to.
See, it's all on video, Miriam. It's just in pieces. And some of it done.
Little coffee beans just
probably
jumping right down the page there just makes my heart so happy.
Heart happy.
Heart's happy.
I like this. What black paint are you using?
It's not black.
I was gonna say it looks like it has a blue tint to it.
It does. It's the it was the my old Utrecht burnt umber.
With blue.
With
the Prussian.
Yeah, Prussian. That. And I love the black that it makes because I think it's a very rich black.
Well, it's almost like a black dye, because a lot of times when you have dyed clothes, it either is a kind of a purple or a blue based black.
Sometimes it can be brown, and that's usually a sign of inferior quality. Did you know that?
Well, I don't think that I've ever had any inferior black
dye.
dye.
A lot of times you will notice that as your clothes fade, they turn sort of rusty color.
Oh yeah, I guess I have had some things that do that, and you'll know that for sure if you accidentally get a little bit of bleach on your black clothes. You'll see which hue it pulls to.
Ooh, got a little carried away there.
She's got a blurpy bean.
Center part of my bean.
Done lost my
crack.
The filling.
Okay.
Oh, we've talked about that, haven't we? I need a list. So, twirly teardrops, beans. We need... I think it should just be like a little square, because I don't know about a full strip of it like that, because you could just...
Oh, larger. You want to make a stamp with beans.
Yeah, and maybe we do it a little bit like the little Geo Poly Trio that we did, but then in size variances. Thank you, Mo. Big beans. Little beans and medium beans. Beans, beans, beans.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's
Those,
right,
I think, are really, really special. And now we're just going to go ahead and muck the rest of this about here. on the plate.
Hey, Jocelyn.
This will be a good taper.
Beans and it's great that Lisa Mingus is here because she was the one who requested the breakfast inspired strips.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, howdy do.
Howdy do.
Howdy do. And
Beans and babies.
Making a good background over here. I mean, you know, it just never ends. That's dry.
Oh, hey, Laszlo.
Stick it in with the other stuff in the jar there. So
Yeah.
Really. Oh, this is going to look so good. Look.
Mm-hmm.
See, there's some other stuff.
Yeah, there's other stuff there.
Other stuff there. Imagine that. All right. Well, let's review our things here. I'm very pleased with these. The beans are just, I think,
the bee's knees.
Bee's knees. There's some beans. The thing, not so much. I don't know. I'm gonna put those over, and they need more work.
Well, you might be able to.
They're just kind of lame.
Well, you might be able to come back and create some pencil work that'll highlight those more.
Well, what I probably needed to do
Hey,
is just bust out my stencil and do the same thing I did with beans. Because I've got a stencil lab.
That is true. It is in an ATC form. Now,
where the what is?
It should be in your box, like with all your the ATC size stencils. Should be. Now, the thing to keep in mind about that one is that there are breaks in there. Because it is a stencil, so there had to be bridges that were created to hold it together.
Right. It doesn't look like exactly the same.
Correct.
And I really would like to find that, but I don't know where it is. Okay, so covered up some of this. I still think that this needs...
Good talk.
You know...
You want me to flip through the box?
I swear to God, I am not ignoring you. I am thinking
in
my head while you're talking, and I'm thinking, and I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
There's a delay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're probably absolutely right. But I've got some
things that are just right at hand.
Here, and wished I hadn't, mucked up my. Because I've got gears here, and gears are going to work, I think.
Yeah, I think these gears here are from Christy Hartman's set. The steampunk strips.
Just need, that little bit of, well, whatever. We'll just mix up some more. Thank you. It's not like we care about that. Well, I don't care about that. All right, here we go. Prussian blue. And I'm not going to put so much out there this time. And remember, we're trying to use up that the burnt umber, simply because it's getting grainy.
Yeah.
And
that's why the burnt umber has been represented a lot this week. It needs to go.
And it's practically a full tube, which is really irksome. I don't know why. I think I'm going to really use brown a lot.
Because she likes the idea of different browns,
like brown,
but she makes her own brown.
But my problem is I make my own brown.
You should just not be allowed to buy brown.
Yeah. Well, what I could do is I could take this, squeeze it all out, mix it up.
In one of the tubey things, or in the squeezy bottle things.
And put it in a squeezy bottle thing.
I like this idea.
And,
oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm going to brag a little bit. I'm sorry. I have to. And you saw it too, and you were so excited. Dick Blick commented on one of our videos.
I did see that.
I about lost my mind. Maybe I shouldn't show all my cards this way. Dang it. But I was very excited.
That was in the
last video, Thursdays. One of our machines needs oiling. You're
Is
down
that
there
what
screaming.
that is? Sounds like a peacock.
There's one machine that just is a little extra needy. There's always one.
All right, now this is coming out as really not quite as dark brown as the other.
Elizabeth saw the comment. Yeah, I know. It was like, and then I had to make sure that it wasn't like a, spoofy account or anything like that. I was like, okay, is that really them? And it was.
Well, how did they know?
How do they know what?
How do they know to watch that?
I think they just came across this. I mean, I have reached out to them before. Or some various people there. Again, you don't always hear back, but, maybe we'll be hearing more. Oh, yes, that would be awesome. That would be awesome, Rhonda. Thank you.
Trimming up my sponge here.
Darcy goes, it does sound like a peacock. Just imagine Midsummer Murders is playing in the background. Oh, Laszlo has a brag. Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it. I think everybody should just, if you got something, tell us. Good to let folks know. Yes. Mysterious for sure.
Well, I don't know that that's...
I know, it isn't.
These just may need some really serious, decoupage.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the next thing. Because the black just is... one of the reasons I think that it's just not working regardless of whatever design that you're putting on there is just that white is fighting anything that's kind of being put on there. But, or the fact that it actually is high contrast. That brown is darker than what the other ones were. That's where you were able to layer better over there. And you're really fighting a lot of high contrast. That's the deal.
Yeah, I'm just, going to give up on that.
Mm-hmm.
And spread my... Oh, let's look at this and see what...
All right, Liz, no worries.
Yeah, now see, look, that kind of brought the top and the bottom together.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. Devin says maybe a glaze of azo gold and then stamp it with black. That might, like you need to tone it down before you can start putting some, higher impact on there, Because it's just getting lost. It's like camouflage
really
right now.
It really honestly is. That's already camo. That's already camo. This is actually...
I'm hearing Steve Irwin in an Arty, version of...
I like this one.
Yes. Well, you got it on there large enough and thick enough. And again, there's less white that is competing there.
True.
Yeah.
That. All right. So we think that these are all okay. These are all okay. We're going to work on...
Oh, that's awesome, Laszlo.
And the beans are staying as is, because I think the beans look cool. I don't know. I'll futz with these. Some of these I think are done, and some of them I think are not done. So I'm not going to bore you with all of that, because my decision-making process is kind of slow sometimes. Oh, we're gonna have some fun times.
Bye,
doing
Yanka. Thanks for hanging.
taping.
Yes. I think, don't you have things to pull?
I do have.
Ooh,
things
should
to
I?
pull.
I should try to. Are they good ones?
Well, I don't know. I can't remember. It's been so long. I've got this jar stuffed full of sponges that I need to wash.
That doesn't seem like it's a good situation.
It isn't.
Uh-huh.
It's disgusting, and I'm gonna throw these little pieces away. I cut off the hard part of
Oh,
this
Thursdays.
really good
So
sponges.
just the one right before this. I should pin it. Didn't even think about that. That seems a little extra braggy.
What is it?
Pinning the comment from Blick.
Oh. Well, I don't know why. I mean,
I don't know.
it doesn't happen every day of the week. That's for dang sure.
Yeah.
I mean, now come on, sister. You got to take advantage of your wins.
Yeah. And Gina from the magazine, she commented. She watched the
Gina from who?
The Illumination magazine.
Oh.
Yeah. Illumin is the magazine, but yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
So we're making friends.
We're making friends. I don't know that that's what I want to do right there, but I've got to show you these others before I start pulling stuff off. But I really did a bang-up job on some of these, and you haven't,
Okay, thank you, Lex.
you haven't seen them in their finalized form.
Very rarely.
Boom.
That should be a shirt there. You very rarely get to see it in a finalized form.
Look at that. God dang it. God.
Is something still given?
Yes, I've got a new.
Oh, thanks, Tina. Oh, awesome.
Oh, well, that's pretty dry.
And hello, Shannon.
I don't know. It must have been something,
Yeah.
else. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of layers there. I don't even know how many. Oh, and I want to show this one. So there was this dark spot here, where my brayer went.
Yeah.
So I just came in with Geopoly.
Yeah.
Stripper Geopoly. And went over the top of it. But doesn't that look cool?
Well, that's not stripper.
It is a stripper that I used to do this with. Trust me, I just did it yesterday. It's not like my brain has to remember from days ago.
This was recent.
Recent.
Still in recall.
Okay, this is a pickup from this. This is the
Wow.
black
Yeah.
with the stars.
Upon
Use
Mars.
the fluffy, light and fluffy.
Yes.
And then this is what picked up. And I pulled it with the black,
I bet Becky's just
metallic black.
she's all excited over there. Purple. This is her jam right here. Has her name all over it. So does that.
And this is like 3 or 4 different. Because if you can see through there.
Yeah, I think so.
First, it started off as a brayer off.
Oh, Lygea's loving the black and the purple. Oh, yes, that makes sense for Lygea too. Yes. Yeah,
And then
that
I
one's
just
cool.
took the,
Mm-hmm.
That one.
That one.
It's the small one. It's the 5x7.
Oh, so you kind of
And then point
around. Okay, so yes,
moved it around.
This is tapestry.
But I didn't just do the thing. I moved it around to get different spaces.
Right.
Because I wanted different things to happen there. And use different colors.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that turned out really nice.
Mm-hmm. And these were started on Thursday. Oh, some of
Yes.
these.
And
Yeah.
remember, this is the one that has the flip off.
Is it flip off or a flop off?
Flop off of gauze. But it's the one that has the breaks in it.
Oh, yes.
You know which one I'm talking about? And then I just went over it with
Loose woven is what you're saying. The icat. Icat.
Icat. Thank you.
We'll get there.
Trying to find my. Okay, here.
Becky says the green one looks like Animal Crossing's Nintendo game.
And I used this one, but I used the little one.
I think I kind of. Oh, this is Miriam's Falling Angles.
Well, I used it, but it's a small one.
Right, the 5x7.
Yeah.
Because we did shrink it.
Yeah. And then this is the same stencil as
Eddie.
this one.
Yeah.
But see, look how different it looks.
It does. That is so trippy.
I love this sort of jade green with this orange. And you know, I think almost this is a great color combo.
It is. This has a Darcy feel to it too. I think anytime that kind of dingy or tealy turquoisey business is happening. Notice what I did there. I have Darcy feels. Yeah, she gave it some lovey. See, I called that. Mm-hmm. And I love the orange with that. I just think that's so yummy. See, I almost have that color, like a darker version of that color combo going on with my,
Oh yeah,
with my original outfit that I couldn't just
did.
wear because it's freezing up here. That's pretty too, and that's so just soft and fluffy. Like it's fluffy.
And again, it's the same stencil.
Eddie's feeling very sassy today. I love this. This I feel is more like with orange and purple together. We've made many
Yes.
things with this color combo. Mm-hmm. It does.
Alrighty.
It comes off velvety look, like you could feel it in it.
It
Or
doesn't.
flocked.
One of the reasons that it does is because I used a one of the. I think it was this one.
Oh, it's interesting. So this is a good thing to note. When you're using these iridescent color shifting, color changing, whatever that particular brand has decided to call their sparkly thing that shifts the color.
Yeah.
It creates a fluffy fuzziness to it.
Yeah, because there's not much of the actual stuff left.
Well,
in it.
right. And that I was just about to say. Now, keep in mind that this one is a, altered wash mix situation. Because full force, you're going to have more just blingy color shifting. But when it's used in the wash situation, it's more of just sort of softens those edges.
And what it also did here that I think is worth pointing out is it really pumped up some of those orange bits.
Yeah. No worries, Carrie.
But it didn't totally alter the purple either. And that's one of the beauties of using that particular here it is. Oh, and here it is.
Oh, look at her finding things in the stack of stuff.
Okay, now this has many iterations.
Oh, good golly.
I can't even tell you how it started out.
I can.
You can?
I can. So that is originally there was some kind of color down on it, I believe. That was like, it was just one of her smushy prints. Where she does the color, because that's why you have the crazing and stuff that you can see right there at the edge. And that is a first, layer of business. Then what happened is you pulled a transfer, because this particular pattern only comes in a laser print. But we know it's a transfer because it's all blue. And then there was more smushy business done, I think, on top of that.
Yeah, and what we're going to do right now is we're going to smushy bit.
Mm-hmm.
this on the edge here and kind of bring it out
nice,
into
Sue.
the main body.
Okay, Carla wants to know. Oh, all right. So this particular stencil right here is the tapestry one from Rhonda. 5x7 because it's gonna be the smaller version. You know, the smaller design scale. There. Good golly, my brain had to go through the words first. And then the other one is the falling angles that was shown. And that was the 5x7. And that one's by Miriam. Oh, that's a good call. Grace says it's kind of like the Great Wave meets Keith Haring.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
Because he does do those little action-y things outside his figures.
Right.
That Izzy used to do all the time. It just cracked me up.
Okay, what colors were put out there? Sorry.
The Liquitex Deep Violet.
Love that color.
And then Winsor Newton Galleria something.
Phthalo blue? If you hold it up in the technology.
Indigo blue.
There you go. Thank you.
Indigo blue. And I think that's going to be really quite lovely.
Yeah, I like this. You've been making some mighty fine mixes.
I have been.
Color.
And, you know, as long as I don't have to, like, match something.
Yeah, I know. It makes you angry.
I just get really frustrated. And all right, here's a crap sponge. We talked about sponges somewhere.
Candy recommended Melanie, Arnie.
Some kind of.
Yeah, and I don't. I mean, I know like what brand and stuff that is, but I told her I'd look into it. Windsor Blue. Maybe.
Windsor.
Was it Windsor Blue
Winsor
or Windsor
Newton.
Newton? Galleria.
Indigo blue. Yeah, Galleria.
A lot of words. It was all of the things, Eddie. Nobody was wrong. That is just blending in so fabulously. Look at you. Oh, look, he says look at it again.
Look at what?
The blue paint tube. I'll do it here in just a sec. Here. Oh, he ain't wrong. Winsor Newton, Galleria Acrylic, Windsor Blue.
Oh.
She was giving out bad information. Because she wouldn't hold up in the technology long enough for me to read it.
I can't see
Mm-hmm.
some of that crap.
Sugar biscuit. A pear in the chair.
Eric, remember Eric? I said crap once in class, and he was in third grade. He said, Mrs. Carmichael, I don't know if you know that or not, but I don't think you're supposed to say that as a teacher. I said, well, thank you, Eric. I
Appreciate the
feedback.
Leave a review.
I'll keep that in mind. He was such a serious little guy. So smart.
Mm-hmm. Bye, Miriam. Thanks for hanging. Trying to keep a balance. Yes, this is pointing.
This is definitely pointing. Okay, now I'm coming out here in these areas where, I have like large pink blobs.
Mm-hmm.
And just trying to get something in there that's got a little bit more line to it, breaks it up.
Yeah. That's just, can't believe how well those mesh together. Now, if you're looking for the design in the background there, like I said, it's a laser print. So this was done a long, long time ago. Maybe not that long ago, but a long time ago.
Yeah, fairly long ago. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to fix this. This is going to be a little more tricky. And the thing about it is if you just move it around, it really isn't that big of a deal.
Carla, did you get it? Okay, I think she did. Okay, thank you. Okay, perfect. Okay.
What?
Every time we were talking about what the stencil name was, Carla's husband called. Is he at the store? Mine does that. He calls a lot from the store.
Oh.
If I don't give him a proper list.
Oh, to see if he's getting the right thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bless his heart. We would laugh about it before he ever left.
But, like, I don't know if I wrote that down right. I'm probably going to be getting calls.
And sure enough.
Yeah. Or, like, he'll be like, hey, I found this thing, but it isn't this thing.
Is this going to work?
Is this going to work? Yeah. Oh, yes, that is true. You can still, yes, you can buy the laser prints from, thank you, Devin. I didn't throw that in there. You can purchase those laser prints over on our website.
And this is titanium white. And this is Winsor Newton. Permanent rose.
Yep. Oh, look at y'all. Good job. I do that too sometimes, especially like I do that with Van because I'm like, here's the thing. And I think you can find it on this aisle. He needs that kind of.
Bless his heart.
Yeah, but he goes with him now, so there's less of that. She's very descriptive in her list making. Yeah. Becky says she always has to use the pliers to open the Winsor Newton paint.
I don't know. I have to use it to open a lot of them. All right.
I switched chairs because I got a new one in my office. And so this is my old office chair. And yeah, it's not as squeaky. And it doesn't lose its... That's why I had to get rid of that other one. It drove me crazy. I don't know where that chair went. Did we just... I think somebody picked it up off of the front of our house. Which is great. I love it when that happens.
Now, see, this isn't exactly the same color, but it's certainly working.
Working. Somebody else owns the squeaky chair now. No, it was the squeaky chair that did that too. It went, it would.
Yeah, fart.
I'm pretty amazed with your, did you tell folks how you mixed that purpley color?
Yeah.
Okay.
Titanium white. And,
I was talking to chat.
Permanent rose. And there was a little bit of blue mixed in there just because it was in the, whatever. All right. Well, I'm just thinking that
it happens to me too. Like if I'm watching a live stream and then I'm like chat with y'all in the chat, it never fails that like whenever something's being said or I need to listen, he'll start talking to me in the office, and I'm just like, okay, well I missed that, and I was really trying to connect at the moment because, you know, chat, it sort of matters when you're doing the thing. One of the reasons I don't really chat in the chats much anymore, because even though I do listen in the background, I'm quiet.
Okay. I call it.
Yes.
And you saw that all happen right
Mhm.
here. Okay, let's get something in here. This in here. Okay. So you can see, you know, what this is,
Gotta
right?
find the right neighborhoods, Eddie.
And I'm doing this because I've got all this paint out here.
Yeah.
And we can't just not.
Well, and then you guys can kind of see, you know, layer 1 was, you know, was it a brayer off? Yeah, probably with like a lot of heavy paint. Like she was doing a certain thing. So there was a brayer off. And then you put the brayer off through the stencil, like to pick up the paint through the stencil.
Yes.
And now this is going into like layer 3.
This is layer 3.
If you kind of count the brayer off as one.
And basically what I'm just going to do is just going to there's really no, I'm just using up this paint. This probably isn't even the color that I would probably use, but I've got it, and I think we'll get some really interesting results here mixing these. What?
I just reading a little side chat. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
You will enjoy it. Liz Jean loves it when she does the textures, or she loves when I get textures with the pointing, and that is the point of the pointing. It's a textural situation.
It is, and
Hi, Jenny.
it's just the kind of situation where, you know, you don't really, even if you mess up and it blobs through or whatever, you're like, oh, no worries. I feel like I can deal with that.
Okay, Jenny has a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How long do you leave the paper on a design before you pull it, generally? Now, and I know Jenny was asking kind of some of these questions in the comments on a video or two ago. And this is kind of one of those things where it will depend. It depends on where you live, the humidity, the day, the, you know, planetary alignment. We say that jokingly, but who knows? One of the things that you want to make sure is that, like, if you are doing a quick pull, that you do it quickly. And if your paint starts to dry, it will tear and rip. So if you are doing a dry pull, one of the ways that you can tell whether or not the paint has dried is if it is cold. You feel the back of it. If it's still, you can almost even feel the moisture through the paper, and then it will feel cold. If it no longer feels that way, most likely it is dry. Usually that happens within 1 to 2 hours. We sometimes, or he does, leave it pretty much overnight. That way you're for sure.
Especially if it's one that has multiple layers.
Yes. Hello, Mary.
Is that our Texas Mary?
This is Texas Mary. I was so sad to miss you yesterday. I should have gone and hunted you down, but, you know, we had a few folks with us, and, you know, trying to keep one group and then find another group is tricky.
Now, see, look at that. A whole different personality.
It is. And then as a friend, because you've used the same paint that you used on one on the other.
Exactly. So when I get ready to make my my cards, we're just gonna have to use up this paint. Sorry guys. I know this isn't like earth-shatteringly, but this is expensive paint, and I'll be darned if I'm going to.
Yeah. Oh, Becky would like me to announce that the Bead Place is doing their monthly Choose Your Adventure Makers Color Combo live stream for April Color Combo this Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central, YouTube and Facebook. So if you guys haven't subscribed to, now that's over on the Bead Place's channel. Highly recommend it. Becky usually posts that over in Makers as well, so watch for a link there. But yes, definitely. And I know that a lot of people have very much have been going to that regularly and enjoying it. I can usually catch a little bit of it. 7 p.m. here is bedtime, so that gets a little tricky.
Sometimes it's cantankerous bedtime.
She's been really pretty good lately. I knock on wood, because their faces. Their faces. Yeah. Oh, and Carrie Griff says, yes, the bead place is fun to watch. He never knew that there were so many bead colors and types of beads. I mean, beads is a whole other world.
I love that world too.
She does. She does not need to be a part of that world because she's got plenty.
I do, but it's one of those things. It's like yarn.
Or black shoes.
Or black shoes or black pants.
Or black dress. Or
you can never have too many of those.
That's right. Her shirts. I know, and we're going to try to dye some stuff today. Oh, you've got 38 minutes.
Thinking I can get her done.
Okay.
Now look at that.
Woo! That's Desert Cracks. Mo has been putting links into the chat there on where to, pick these things up over there on PM Artist Studio.
All right, let's do this one because I love parts of this, but I'm going to have to grab a little bit more white paint here, and I'm going to try to be really...
Yes, because I have these black pants that are a poly blend kind of something or other. And so, the regular RIT dye has never really worked, but RIT does have a synthetic dye. And we did some purple stuff not too long ago, and it turned out fabulously. You can use it on regular stuff, too, like cotton, meaning natural fibers. But I got a mix of things, and it's kind of nice when you're doing the mix of things. And so I'm hoping, and then I have this old vest thing that my mom and I were talking about, P and I were talking about the other day that originally it was mine, and then I gave it to her, and now she's giving it back to me, but it's sort of faded in a funky blue color, and so I would like it to match these one black pants.
All right, I'm going to try this, even though most of my holes are plugged up in my circle here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, and Sue says, Pete, we need a rule that studios grow with interest. She has glass, wood, jewelry, and paper. She needs a barn. Yeah, we need a barn. We are in the warehouse barn needing kind of situation. With sections for all the things. Mixed media. Yes, Jenny. I am her daughter, and then Izzy sometimes comes along too, and then so it's 3 generations of us. Oh. Yeah, we forget to say it each and every time, Sandy. So this is neurosphering, 5x7, and it has been altered. Neurosphering, altered. She's been hitting this one pretty hard lately. She likes it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Because it has little different sections, so doing this pointing, dabbing situation, you wouldn't even necessarily recognize it, which is a great thing, because if you want some, you know, making it into your art, it gives you that ability. It's used as more of a tool than a specific design. And that's one of the reasons that we call all of our designs artist tools versus we are a stencil and stamp company. We have artist tools. And we highly encourage you to alter them as you see fit. Once you purchase them, they are yours to do with as you please. Oh, yes. Yes, we've got beads, yarn, paper, paints, markers, fabric, paints of all sorts. And see, and Darcy says that is how she explains them on her taxes. Tools.
See, I love that. Isn't that nice? It's breaking up these areas because this is a brayer off. It started off as a brayer off.
Buttons, yes, buttons.
And then
Rocks.
It just kind of...
Shells.
So it has many, many layers.
Oh, Paul is in charge of in calling out what shirts should be made. Now, not all shirts get, you know, made into PM Artist Studio ones, but we do like the idea. Oh, yes. We have clay tools. We don't have actual... Well, that's not true, because technically we have, like, the air dry clay. We don't have, like, old school, you know, pottery
I would
clay.
like to. I'd love to take a class where I have access to somebody's...
their kiln and
that sort of
and clay storage.
And clay storage.
Storage. Just in general. All right, you got 30 minutes, basically. Do you want me to video any of the polls?
I don't know. But see that little splashy thing there? I mean, it looks splashy.
It does. And not in a flashy way.
Isn't that great? I just love that. Love that.
See, Cynthia, she has a kiln, but it's in storage. And Sue has 5 for glass. Oh, that looks lovely. Well, the problem is, so around here, like, we try to explain to people sometimes, if you aren't in Texas or, like, things are very far away usually. There is a college that's right up the road, but they don't offer the cool art classes. So you have to almost go all the way down into Dallas to do it, which is a whole other thing, because usually, you know, crazy parking, crazy traffic.
And I don't drive at night.
Yeah, she doesn't drive at night, and usually those classes are going to be at night because they don't...
Well, I'd for sure be getting out at night. They might start when it was daylight out. But.
Yeah. Now, there are, like, little art you know, like in the shopping centers and things, sometimes there's like the painty ones, or you can do like the basically like you're just painting pottery. Not that they have kilns or anything like that, because I think they bring in like pre-made stuff.
Oh yeah,
She's not, you know, but they don't have the equipment. Like that's not what they do there. Oh, I just thought that like this last week or whatever. So Lygia was saying that there's this guy on Instagram that fires his pottery in the microwave.
seriously.
And I have actually I came across it the other day and I was like, man, that is some crazy. I think you would probably want a separate microwave for that. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, that
pick you up a cheapy one, maybe at the, you know, like an old school one or something.
I don't know, but look at this.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
fabulous.
this just gorgeous?
Fabulous. Hi, Marina. The altered stencil that she's using right now is neurosphering, and it's the 5x7. It's gonna look, because this is the small, so keep that in mind, like, because it scales up.
Neat.
My neck has been tweaked for like a week. I don't know if I just keep sleeping weird or if I've just done something to it, but that's why I keep doing that. Hopefully now that doesn't drive y'all crazy, because you'll notice that I'm doing it.
Now, the whole thing about this is can you see how I'm coming back in now?
Yes.
And hitting it with a little bit darker?
Lexi.
And what that does is it adds that next layer of it's one of those things, okay, I have to think about this a minute in order to see, okay, what's happening here?
Yes.
What went on when?
Yeah. Cynthia's is for Clay. Good deal. Good deal. Clay is dirty and it gets everywhere, and then there's the filmy, dusty stuff because once it dries, it gets in the air. It's just I can remember that like being a kid, and so that's when P was at Tech, and I used to crawl around on the floor and, you know, big kid and whatever, but that studio was filthy all the time.
It was. Nobody cared. Okay.
I love it.
Now, just a sec here. We've got. I do want to get. I've got this blue paint out here, and I mean, I apologize.
Yeah, I know. She started something, then she just kept doing it.
We'll go ahead and use, because I love that little stencil. In fact, I would really like you to make me another one, because
yes, it's
my
getting clogged up.
holes are clogged up, and I could, you know. All right, now what I'm doing over here is I'm getting my paint.
Fair enough.
Can you see this part in the? Yeah, I guess you can.
Yeah. Okay, so clay dust isn't filthy. It is just everywhere.
Pervasive.
Yeah. Yeah. Pervasive. She agrees with that. Okay.
I do want to pull some of this stuff back here. So
Okay, well,
this is going to be my last pointer.
Okay. I can understand that. I don't know, Becky. Everybody said the Desert Cracks is one of those ones.
It's like puzzle.
Yep, puzzle, bricks, gauze. And if you have to choose, I would say go with the Desert Crack Small.
Yes.
But, you know, if you're feeling frisky and you want both, then yes. There's a large and a small. This is the small.
Check it out.
Yes. It's cool because you can kind of make it animal printy, or it can be, you know, like it gives off a kind of brainy vibe sometimes. It's, you know, desert cracky. It's, you know, all sorts of things.
I'm spreading my paint out here so that I can do a really good job of taping.
Yeah. Yeah, because we have found out that the thicker isn't necessarily better.
No, it's just you don't want a big blob out there because it does not pick up the big blobs so terribly well. But look at that.
Yeah. Ooh.
Trying to get rid of that one little pink spot there that's annoying as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
Yeah, dib-a-dab-dub. Kind of dangerous rubbing it on the side there.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
All right.
Okay. Another into the jar there.
Yeah, we've never actually used that stuff, but I know that there are a lot of people that swear by it. The gloves in a bottle.
Oh, yeah. Why haven't we tried that?
I don't know.
I don't really care.
Yeah, I think that's really mainly, but because it wasn't like full on issue.
Sitting in the doctor office
Gives you something to
with
do.
Van picking paint off my fingers.
Just leaving evidence behind.
That's when you want to wear Becky's shirt that says, "It's okay, I'm an artist."
Yeah.
Alrighty. So let's pull some prints here.
Oh yeah, there are certain soaps that are just brutal. Should I come over there? Which ones are you pulling?
I don't know. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, you want to come over for this one?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Try to get my PM artist.
Yeah, there you go. Alrighty, so this particular print, I don't know that it was actually done on a stream. Maybe it started as a brayer off. Is that correct?
Oh, yes. Or it was a pickup because it's got the micaceous.
Right. So this, see, and I think the micaceous was done afterwards. But the brayer off situation would have been from a stream, you know, a day or two ago.
The one that I made the envelope from today
Mm-hmm.
is one of the other matching prints from this batch.
Yeah. But it has micaceous, which is a very textural paint. There you go.
Scratchy scratch.
Okay.
It's like sandpaper. But then I pulled it with pink. All right, I'll let you roll that back the right way.
Well, I'm videoing.
Oh, sorry. Well, just leave it there rolled up. It'll be fine.
Fair enough.
Okay, now that was the 32-pound
Yes.
hammer mill. This is
All right.
tissue.
Yeah. So this is a print being pulled. The paper is Carnival wet strength. Please don't pull from that direction. Thank you. It's gonna be kind of iffy to see which what stuff comes up because it looks like some's staying back behind there.
Well, which means that that edge was probably dry.
Way dry.
And
this is gonna be one of those. Maybe I do this in a 2-part and it'll be like 20 minutes later. It's not a fast pull, and it is leaving some things behind.
It is leaving some things behind, which is very interesting. I'm not going to worry about getting them up. Because
a lot of that was because of the wrinkle. So the paint was probably already dry, partially. Or if you do not get the paper all the way down on there, it's not going to pull it.
And see where it's pulling the paper off
away
from the...
But lessons to be learned here.
But it didn't tear. Just got a layer off there. All right, well, this will be some interesting stuff, you know, to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping in mind that you need to use really juicy paint.
Do you have the one that's over the paper?
Yeah, I think it's this one.
Let's do that. See what happens.
This is the weird one. Okay, so had this gorgeous print. And I didn't get it down in the place that I wanted to get it down. So we went ahead and put...
Yeah, so this is a funky print because, yes, you were going to pull it, and then we were like, oh, wait, you wanted more of the edge stuff. Well, that wasn't necessarily going to, you know, be doable because the paint was already down and you'd already picked some of it up. So this is like a paper over a paper. So there's going to be a border. If you want to know more about this one, I think it was done on Thursday.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way around the edge here so that I can pick the rest of it up. Because, see, it's not... it is not coming loose where the paper is.
Okay. And I'm going to stop the video there.
I don't think that you're going to be able to. It's just really heavy paint on the edge here. And this probably would have happened regardless of what kind of paper I used.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just trying to break it where yeah, okay. This is something that probably is not a very good idea.
We gave it a try.
But we gave it a try, and I wanted it to work very badly.
Mm-hmm.
But it just may not. And one of the other things is by the time I got this paper down, some of these edges had already started drying. But see how I come in and I kind of give that a little, at least it's not going to tear any further when you do that.
I know. I think that every time we see my case. Just... All right, and Becky, finish your story. I'm here. I read it. Now I'm like, okay.
Come on. Pick that up. Sometimes you just got to get a little bit rough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, made it to the edge there. I'm sorry that this is just...
Okay, now I understand. Where are they from? Okay. I thought she was asking about, like, where are your stencils from? And I'm like, well, did you tell her? Like, PM Artist Studio? That's why I didn't understand. That's funny. Oh, bye, Linda.
I promise you this is going to be worth it. You're going to be astounded. But it just takes a bit of patience.
I think it's a win, even with the, to get the edge. Like, it didn't pull it all up, but it got more. And it got the bits, I think, that you were really after. Look at that. And then what we'll do is we'll glue it all down. Well, be careful. Just...
Yeah, I can't, because some places it's stuck and some places it's not stuck. I don't know how that's going to work as far as gluing.
Well, we can like get the X-Acto and cut it so that,
look at that. Isn't that just absolutely stunning?
Yes, I'm very pleased with how that.
I love the colors. I love the leftover dark purpley blue.
And another way to think about it would be like if you had a little bit of time, because we were a little short on the time to be able to get the paper down, so you had to put the whole piece of Carnival down. Yeah. If you had strips available, you could kind of just do it in the strips around there, and you probably get a little bit better.
Yeah, and see, we still have some leftover.
Yeah.
Just really wants to jump on there.
Jump on it.
And there's some weird stuff on the filmy stuff on this plate that I don't really.
There is.
Yeah, I don't chalky. Know. I don't know from whence it comes. All right, let's see. Oh, look at this.
Oh, very 1940s wallpaper. Yes. I have music. Oh, Eddie has a music that he arts to on his channel. He put in a link. It took me a minute to work that out. I was like, what?
What does he listen to?
All kinds of things. Probably things that, because he likes a lot of, like kind of techno and things.
I like some of it, but I don't like all of it. And I don't like it when they're screaming at me. I don't like screamy music.
But you might like, because I think this is more of like music he listens to, but not ones that he, because that's the tricky part. Like if you have music on your video, it's a whole other copyright, it's a pain in the butt. That's what it is.
Oh, he just listens to this as he's.
Yeah, so, and he has a very eclectic, He listens to a lot of sad girl music. He's a sad girl. I don't even
know who that is.
He just doesn't know who that is. It's not one particular person. It's more of a, like.
See, yeah. All right, did you all ooh and all?
Yes, all good wishes. Yes, thank you. Mo put the link to that.
Read the freaking writing.
Lucy Ames and stuff. Yeah, I got it down there right.
All right. No, this isn't anything to write home about, but it'll be it'll be a good pointer.
Eddie's in his sad girl era. Oh yes, Paula and Eddie, and then every once in a while they'll shoot one over at me, whatever they're listening to, or. Hey, Kathy.
I think my plates need cleaning.
Yes. Well, and we've
noticed there's not any oil at all on the back of that.
Yeah, and we've had such weird fluctuations in weather. I'm sure that has a little something to do with things. Okay, this piece of paper has been on here since Thursday. Yeah. And I mean, this print was done fully on Thursday. Well, not fully, but
Still smells new. It's one of my newer plates. I think this is gorgeous. And, you know, again, coming in and hitting specific areas that...
Yeah, like the two things that you did at the earlier part of the stream with the stamping, with the pointing, with, you know, all of that can be the next layer to this particular type of print. So don't think, oh, well, that didn't turn out as, like, you know, spectacular. Well, sometimes these types of prints just need a little bit additional work. Either, you know, not necessarily even on the plate. It could be the stamps or the stenciling with the dabbing, pointing situation.
Yeah. Now, here's this, and we need to talk about this. And I've got time, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was, you know, and by the time I started, I would have had to do it all over again. This is just kind of lame, the color. So what I want to think about here is I want to think about what color is going to pump the whole thing up. And what I'm leaning towards here is my blue. And we won't pull this today, but I'll turn it over and show it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, because it'll need to dry.
Because this will be one that, yeah.
Even though this is a pretty light layer, it still is paint to paint kind of, or
yeah, it's not going to pull up.
It's dry paint. So you need to let it sit to get it all up.
True. All right, we're going to brayer it out a little bit.
Yeah. And yes, this Aura paint is the paint that you can get at Jackson's. We love it. Sonia was so sweet to hook us up with this stuff because seriously, like, we have enjoyed it thoroughly. And Lexi says she's got to see this. She thought that the blue would brown out the red and orange. And it kind of probably will.
A little bit. That very well may.
Oh, she's not playing with fire, is she?
Darn it.
Yeah, that was a guesstimation.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point, Darcy. It says it depends on the dryness and the opacity of those top colors, like the first ones down. We're trying to do our best not to buy from Amazon as much as possible. I mean, we're, you know.
Yeah, so I've cut that like a lot. But I did order Izzy.
Yes.
And the reason I did is because she took her little unicorn, which I know that she loves, because she gave it to me to keep on the... And she gave it to this little girl at school who doesn't have anything to share.
Well, that's going to make me cry. Thank you for that.
Well...
It did kind of go brownie.
It's a whole lot darker than I really wanted it. But now what we need to talk about is doing something like this, you can create a cool background where you're not emphasizing the words. They are still there. But, you know, it's not something that, yeah.
Yeah, that was done on Thursday.
Thursday.
Right?
Right.
Okay. I think it's kind of cool. I mean, it's not as impactful as the red and yellow one. I mean, that was like...
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good thing we like brown around here, you know?
I do like
This
brown.
is the audience.
I like brown a lot.
All right, you got 5 minutes, or we can just call it, and you can show some... What did you accomplish today, Patricia?
What did I accomplish today? Well, we pulled a lot of prints. That's a good one.
Yeah?
That's a good one. This is like spectacular. I mean,
Yes,
this is like... I'm really... I'm gonna frame this and put it in the dining room.
Okay.
Because I just think it's so
It's
gorgeous.
really cool. And it's got a good story behind it, too, because it's kind of a few things all sort of...
Yeah.
It's a story of mishaps that turned out to be a really beautiful thing.
Yeah. Because remember, this is the one that I pulled too soon. And pieces of stringy...
Yeah, and you pulled a chunk with the brayer, like start out with on the first one, a chunk came out with the onto the brayer, and then this was sort of left over when you did the pull because you didn't let it dry.
But I'm really happy some of this got captured here.
Yeah.
I was worried about this edge. I would have liked to have more of this, but you can see, I mean, I either got good stuff on one end or good stuff on the other. That we just couldn't get it all. But I love this also. I really do. There's just some spots where it's really iridescent-y. Can you see that?
Lexi would like us to continue streaming because otherwise, if we're done, then she has to go paint the bathroom.
But we're not quite finished yet. I'm showing you all of this.
There we go.
Now, what I'm thinking about on this, and I guess it's okay if I talk about what's next. If I want to get a really nice finish to this, I'll take one of these mix outs and just put it down and then just pull it, and then it gives it that lovely glow. I'll probably do the same thing to this.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing to this. I think this is wonderful. This looks batik-y to me.
Yeah.
I think this is just lovely. I'm very pleased with that. Well, and the rest of these you've already seen. They're just from the other. I think that's it. That's what we've managed to do today.
Okay.
And really what I'm thinking about on this, as I look at this, because I'm not liking that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
It's not making you happy.
It's not making me happy. Now if I can find my...
Oh, yes, and thank you, Mo. Thank you for letting people know about that. And those of you that came in, because I didn't say that a lot during the stream today, do make sure you give those thumbsy upsies, do all that, YouTube business that one does. If you haven't, we'd very much appreciate it. Share this stream. Go back to Thursday's stream and, like that Dick Blick comment, because that would be super helpful. Maybe they'll see, like, that we got,
Oh, yeah.
got the love and the supports and things, and, I don't know what that does, but, maybe one day they'll give us a little shout out over there.
This is what I'm thinking about here.
Yes. This is Altered Choppy Waters, designed by Brad. And this is the 5x7 version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, so she just kind of did the one end, which was smart that you kept one end as is.
Because I realized that I was going to be making some very floppy areas.
Yeah.
And when you have these that you really want, I really should have left more. That I didn't
because it was 5x7, so there was more there.
Right. There was, yes, more there. I just cut it off, which was really dumb. But I like this one because I've got this edge that I can go along and point.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. It's an ending, it's not like a chop, straight line.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons that it is great to just think about and really look at the stencils that you do have. Whether they're PMR Studio ones or not, they always have the ability to be altered and warped into your way That should be a shirt.
Absol-
Warping things to our way.
Absolutely. And you know, when I was
Get warped.
cutting this out, I was really careful if it went like, see this one? You couldn't cut into here because it would go clear back to here.
Yes.
These are things that you really need to think about when you're cutting your edges.
Mm-hmm. All right, my Arty friends, it is the end.
It is the end.
And we
love you.
like a
Long haul.
bye, guys.
Bye.